Yo, 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 what's the deal? What's the deal? It's your boy who is in and we back talking sports. So, we got a video that I wanted to do because it's been so much talk about my Pistons and what we doing and how we play prison ball, how we can't do this, how we can't do that. And this didn't happen overnight, bro. And shout out to, I think this is Hoops Central. He's been doing Hoops Central, Hoops Arena, a couple of the Hoops channels been doing some very good content on my Pistons. So we gonna check out this video and let y'all know the history of how our team is built, if you don't know, and why we still have carried that bad boy moniker over to 2026 and why we have reinstituted the Bad Boys after 15 years. Because the Bad Boys was gone, dead. That moniker, we was not living by that the last 15 years. But it's back, and it really returned last year. That's when it really returned. But this year, now, we took it to another level.
2 years ago, the Detroit Pistons had the longest losing streak in NBA history. 28 straight losses and a defense that couldn't stop anybody.
Detroit Pistons are a horror show.
I hurt for them.
This man right here, if we ever see you in the city, it's up. There's some things I can't say on YouTube, but if we ever see you in the city, it's up. Don't you ever come back to Detroit. Don't you ever in your life even say our name. This
2-26 bad. You know what I mean?
Look at Cade's face, man. Look at young Cade, man. He just don't understand. He knew our team wasn't that bad, and we wasn't, Cade.
No way. Are we that bad?
Now, in the 25-26 season, they're the number one seed in the East.
Look at that. You gotta change that, my boy. We 40-13. Gotta change that. This old though. This like 2 days old, but you gotta change that, my boy. We 40-13. Look at that. We actually 26-7 in the conference. We're 22-6 at home and 17-7 away. And we're actually 8-2 in the last 10 games and on a 3-game winning streak. No. Yeah. 9-2. No, 9-1.
With the second-ranked defense in the entire NBA.
Look at that. 109. Us and the Thunder are the only ones holding people to under 110 points. The Thunder, they just have an insane defense, but I really think our defense is better.
Some fans are calling it one of the fastest turnarounds basketball has ever seen. Others think it's too early to crown them anything at all. But still, how does a team go from historically embarrassing to potentially championship caliber in just 2 years? And what exactly makes them so damn good this season?
Dealing with the bounce. The Karras reverted. A nice give back from Karras and a dynamite. He gives back to Steve and roll for a stop. Great execution.
Well, strap in and we'll show you. The 1980s were the NBA's golden era. Magic and the Showtime Lakers, Bird and the Celtics, Jordan beginning his rise. Talent was everywhere and competition was fierce.
Woo!
And right in the middle of all that glamour stood the Detroit Pistons, the Bad Boys. In 1989, of all that glamour stood the Detroit Pistons, the Bad Boys.
You see that? Bad Boys. That don't mean bad boys. What that mean is we're the antithesis of these 3-point shooting teams. We're the antithesis and always have been, no matter what era it is. We play hard. Even when we was losing all those years, we were playing hard. We just didn't either have the talent, the coaching, and the roster construction. This is Bad Boys. Defense, grit, tenacity. If we gotta, break the rules a little bit, and hey, so be it, to get our point across. We gonna ride for each other, and the city the same way. Bad boys, they have adapted the mindset of the city. The city adapted the mindset of the players. That shit that happened with Charlotte, that invigorated the city. The city hyped off of that shit. Yes, 90s basketball is back. 2000s basketball is back. There's no team or no franchise like the Detroit Pistons. In 2026, bro, we playing like a 2000s team, bro. Literally. We got a few shooters, but one consistent shooter in Duncan Robinson. And a couple of streaky shooters, Dennis, Karis, K, Wu. You know what I'm saying? Then we got a trio of centers. B-Ball Paul, Stu, Jalen Duren, 9 to 5, AT, and Hustle Man. Like, we just bad boys. This is what we is. The NBA never has liked us, so ain't nothing new.
In 1989, Detroit ran through the league's giants. They swept Bird's Celtics in the first round, used the Jordan rules to eliminate MJ's Bulls in the conference finals, and then swept Magic's defending champion Lakers in the finals. 3 all-time greats, 1 postseason run, all taken down. They did it by playing tougher basketball than anyone else. Isaiah Thomas ran the offense, Joe Dumars provided steady scoring and elite perimeter defense, Dennis Rodman controlled the glass, Bill Laimbeer enforced the paint. Every player knew his job. That formula won back-to-back championships. And if the 1989 Pistons established the franchise identity, another generation took it even further 14 years.
Now, this is my generation. This is what I grew up on. The Bad Boys influence, that's all I heard about. That's all I, was able to watch and stuff like that. And I really admire the Bad Boys. This is what I watched live and what I grew up on for a decade.
Years later, the 2004 squad became one of the greatest defensive teams in modern NBA history. With Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace, Detroit finished 54-28 and posted a defensive rating of 93.9. Ben Wallace was winning Defensive Player of the Year awards. Prince's length disrupted elite scorers. Rasheed anchored the paint. Every possession was contested. In the playoffs, Detroit rolled past Milwaukee, New Jersey, and Indiana before reaching the finals against a star-studded Lakers team featuring Kobe, Shaq, Peyton, and Malone. Most believed Los Angeles had too much talent, but they were wrong. Detroit suffocated the Lakers, holding them to just 81.8 points per game and 60.
This what really made us legendary, bro. Beating the Lakers how we did. That shit
8 points
crazy.
in Game 3. Ben Wallace, listed at 6'9" but closer to 6'7", outworked Shaq throughout the series. The Pistons closed it in 5 games. A title won without a traditional Hall of Fame superstar. It hasn't happened before, and it hasn't happened since.
You heard that right? It ain't happened before. It ain't happened since. Because we one of one. Our franchise is 101. We do shit that y'all can't do in the NBA. You other teams can't do. Y'all can't win without good 3-point shooting. Y'all can't win without 2, 3, 4 superstars. We win by hard work, defense, team tenacity, and making sure you can't score. I love our teams and how we built. This is the basketball I grew up on, and I'm not finna apologize for wanting to see this. I love tough physical basketball, bro. Yeah, I love offense too when people get it going in a 3-point shot, but these days it's too much, bro.
After 2004, the league adjusted hand-checking rules to boost scoring, but Detroit kept reaching the Eastern Conference Finals for 6 straight years. But sports are cyclical. Teams rise, dominate, fall, and then spend years trying to build themselves back up. After their mid-2000s championship era, the Pistons entered that phase. The next decade was spent chasing relevance until they finally tore it down.
I think the thing, though, with Allen Iverson, you got to remember, he only plays one way. And those guys are going to have to adjust to him because he's not going to be a guy that's going to blend in, fit in. The things that he says.
And that's one thing I don't like is that we got all these damn stars after they, after they left their prime or wasn't in their prime no more. Like, it really pisses me off that happened.
In 2021, when Detroit drafted Cade Cunningham first overall. Over the next few years, they added Jaden.
Let me tell you something.
When Detroit drafted Cade Cunningham,
I knew from that moment that Cade was going to be something. Let me run my victory lap. I knew from day one we made the right pick and that Cade would be something. That he would be an MVP candidate. That he would lead us to the playoffs again. And now I'm saying he's going to lead us to a championship. Might not be this year. Might be this year. But he's going to lead us to a championship. Him, Duran, Stu, Jenkins, Ron Holland, Tobias Harris, Duncan, Herter, Karras, all of them going to lead us to a championship. I believe this is the team that's going to lead us to a championship. We might add something, but I think our core, Isaiah Stewart, Cade, Duran, Holland, Asar, definitely could do it.
First overall. Over the next few years, they added Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duran, Killian Hayes, and Osar Thompson, mixed with a few vets. For a while, it looked like the plan was working, at least until the 23-24 season when everything fell apart. The Pistons opened 2-1, and for a moment, it felt like progress. Then it started. Game after game, loss after loss. They went the entire month of November without a single win. 0-15. Every night, the sports world kept counting. 24-25, waiting to see how bad it would get. That 25th loss nearly broke Cade Cunningham. Cameras caught him walking off the court, fighting back tears. 3 more losses later, Detroit...
Bro, he was not fighting back tears, bro. He was frustrated. Y'all need to cut that shit out.
...finally stopped the bleeding at 28 straight defeats. 28, a streak that turned a proud franchise into the punchline of every joke in America. When the season ended, 14 wins, 68 losses. The worst record in franchise history, one of the worst defenses in the league at 25th overall, an NBA record, 31 players cycling through the lineup. No continuity, no stability. It was a failure from top to bottom. And at the center was Monty Williams.
You bitch ass nigga. You are the whole reason this happened, bro. I swear to God, bro, it's up with you for life, bro. I swear it's up with you for life, bro. And that's on everything.
In year one of a $78 million contract, the rotations never clicked and the spark never came. The rebuild looked like it was broken. Detroit wanted everyone gone. The coach, the front office, even some of the players. But firing Monty Williams meant eating more than $65 million in dead money. Most franchises would have hesitated. Detroit didn't. Owner Tom Gores kicked over the first domino.
Thank you, Tom Gores. You fucked up, you made a mistake, and you fixed it. That's what an owner do. Tom Gores, he want to win. But we want to win the Detroit Piston way. That's what a lot of you fans don't understand. We are not about going to grab every star or every player on the market. Yeah, we make trades here and there. Tom Gores messed up royally. And he knew he messed up, and it was so bad. And he knew he had to make it up to us. He fired that bum. Got rid of Troy Weaver. Thank you, Troy Weaver, for drafting Asar, Cade, Duran, Ivy, even though Ivy is gone, and all of them. But he didn't put a team around them. Tom Gores knew what he was doing. He fired him like, I messed up. All right, I'm going to fire and break it down and bring it back and tear it down and build it back up.
Monty was out, then Troy Weaver, the architect of the rebuild. The Pistons were starting over. They found their guy in Trajan Langdon, 12 years of front office experience, promised...
12. So he know what the hell he doing. That's exactly what he needed. He saved our franchise. These two guys, JB Bickerstaff, saved our franchise. Our core and these two guys. Cade, Asar, Ron Holland, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duran, Trajan Langdon, and JB Bickerstaff have saved our franchise for the next decade. We gonna be good.
Structure and stability instead of miracles. After 14 wins and years of stuck in the lottery, that was exactly what Detroit needed. He went to work immediately, bringing in Fred Vinson, one of the most respected shooting coaches in the league, to address Detroit's biggest weakness.
Y'all don't understand. Sitting through that whole season, bro, watching them lose game after game, fight, and then get robbed in some games. It was bad, bro. I never want to remember that season.
Believe the Pistons already had talent. What they lacked was structure and accountability. So he turned to JB Bickerstaff. Fresh off Cleveland, Bickerstaff had already led the Cavs through their own rebuild, 2 playoff trips, and one of the league's most reliable defenses. From his first press conference, he made his priorities clear. They don't put stops in the paper, they put buckets in the paper. But the teams that play the longest, they're really good defensively. In his last season in Cleveland, his team finished 7th in scoring defense, holding opponents to 46.3% shooting. The buy-in happened fast. The Pistons' young core embraced Bickerstaff's vision. Even after dealing with 3 coaches in 3 years, under him, it was about doubling down on Detroit's blue-collar identity, the same toughness that delivered 3 championships. Effort, communication, and accountability became non-negotiable. Osar Thompson committed to becoming an elite defender. Isaiah Stewart embraced his physical backup center role. As Langdon put it, the biggest factor was the guys buying into the third coach in 3 years. By the time the 24-25 season wrapped up, the question was no longer whether the Pistons could recover from 28 straight losses. It was whether they could finally start competing for something real. They played harder, they defended with purpose, they stopped being an easy win. And now in the 25-26 season, the optimism in Detroit is built on one thing: defense. The Pistons own the 2nd best defensive rating in the league. They've rediscovered an identity that became dangerous for everyone else. And like every great Pistons defense before it, this one starts in the middle with Jalen Duren. Only 22 years old, Duren has taken a massive leap this season and has even been selected to make his first All-Star appearance. He may not be the flashiest defender on the roster, but he's unquestionably the most important. Everything flows through him on both ends. His shot blocking and rebounding allowed Detroit to control tempo and erase second chances. He's averaging 18 points, 10 rebounds, and nearly a block per game. His activity, positioning, and awareness have turned him into a legit two-way force, and the numbers back it up. Duren has a defensive rating of 107.4, the best on the team.
Yes,
Combined with his
sir.
offensive leap, he's becoming a legit problem for opponents. Right behind him is the team's enforcer, Isaiah Beef Stew Stewart. When Bickerstaff arrived, he made Stewart's role clear: protect the rim, set the tone, and bring chaos every night off the bench. Stewart embraced it completely. This season, he's emerged as one of the league's best interior defenders, anchoring the paint, switching onto guards, recovering to contest shots. Through the first half of the season, Stewart has recorded 78 blocks, nearly 2 per game, ranking among the league leaders. He owns the 5th most blocks in the NBA and the lowest defending field goal percentage at the rim, at just 43%, among players with at least 30 games played. In December, he was named Eastern Conference Defensive Player of the Month. His 2 blocks per game have him on pace for a career year and already place him in the top 10 in franchise history for blocks. According to Bickerstaff, he's got elite timing and elite instincts. And for 20 minutes a night, Stewart turns the paint into a war zone. He's the living bridge between Detroit's old identity and its new one. Proof that the toughness never left, it just evolved.
Sharp.
Give me that.
Rejected by Isaiah Stewart.
But Duren and Stewart aren't the only defensive weapons. Duren may be the most important defender, but the best pure stopper on this roster is Osar Thompson. If you could build the perfect modern defender in a lab without overcompensating in any area, you'd probably end up with one of the Thompson twins. And Detroit has the better one, at least according to Piston fans. Osar is the team's best point of attack defender and arguably one of the best in the entire league. When he's your primary assignment, life becomes miserable. He pressures the ball, blows up actions, and never gives stars a comfortable possession. We've seen it over and over. He recently limited LaMelo Ball to 1 of 12 shooting in the first quarter of a game. Against Denver, he made life miserable for Jamal Murray from the opening tip. Thompson picked him up full court, fought through every screen, and stayed attached with elite lateral quickness. Murray finished 7 of 18 from the field and 0 of 6 from 3. That's what Ossard does. Relentless pressure and constant disruption. He averages 1.7 steals and nearly a block per game while bringing high-flying athleticism to every possession. At just 23 years old, he already looks like a future Defensive Player of the Year candidate, whether you're watching with the eye test, box score, or advanced metrics. In that same Denver game, when Thompson got into foul trouble, the Pistons brought in Ron Holland off the bench, and the intensity never dropped. Holland has built a
Yeah, hustle man, yeah, that's you.
reputation this season as a disruptive, high-energy perimeter defender. He fights for rebounds, dives for loose balls, and brings non-stop effort every time he checks in. He fits perfectly with Detroit's identity. And then there's Cade Cunningham. While Cade is the offensive engine of this team, his defense doesn't get nearly enough credit. He's not just
Gonna give us some fucking respect after this year, boy. Promise you that.
surviving on that end either. He's actually contributing. He consistently makes plays with his size and instincts, coming up with steals, blocks, and deflections that most lead guards simply don't. His activity gives Detroit another layer of versatility and allows them to switch and pressure without losing structure. It's no coincidence that the only team with a better defensive rating than Detroit, the Oklahoma City Thunder, also runs a big, active, defensively engaged point guard. And the depth is what really separates this team. The Pistons can roll out multiple capable defenders off the bench and throw different looks at elite wings and guards without ever losing their shape or intensity. There are no weak links in this rotation and no easy matchups for opposing offenses. Tobias Harris gives them veteran stability, a player who understands spacing, matchups, and when to slow the game down. Duncan Robinson stretches the floor with his shooting while still holding his own defensively, forcing teams to stay honest on both ends. Javonte Green brings instant energy, physicality, and effort with no drop-off. And Karis LeVert provides secondary ball handling and pressure release when the offense stalls. And another creator defenses have to account for. The entire group is solid. There's simply no one opposing teams can consistently pick on. As Bickerstaff explained, we can wear people out if we continue to throw waves at them. And then we've got our teammates to protect us, because it's never a one-on-one scenario. That mentality is exactly what allows Detroit to survive nights when the offense isn't clicking, especially from three-point range. For most teams, poor shooting is a recipe for disaster. For the Pistons, it's just another challenge to overcome. With this many capable defenders on the floor,
I'm gonna call you like in about 2 minutes.
Excuse me, sir. How old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
My bad, y'all.
Detroit doesn't need a perfect offense to win. Their defense gives them margin for error. You can't get a group of young players like this to lock in without the right culture. Talent alone doesn't build elite defenses. Systems don't matter if players don't believe in them. What separates good teams from real contenders is identity. And in Detroit, that identity is now crystal clear. This team is physical, tough, relentless, and they don't take nights off. And the numbers tell the story. The Pistons rank second in defensive rating at 108.3, they're fourth in opponents' points per game, and third in blocks per game. Through the first half of the season, they've built the second best record in the entire NBA. That's discipline, effort, and consistency showing up every single night. And it hasn't gone unnoticed. Ben Wallace, the face of Detroit.
Ben Wallace. Yes, sir. One of the greatest defenders of all time. I told y'all about 3 years ago, the year that we lost 14 games, I said we would win 45. I wasn't wrong. I was early. We won 44 last year, so I basically was right. Going into this year, I said we would win 50 games. We had 40 games through 54 games? I'm right again. Y'all gonna learn to listen to me and learn to respect the Detroit Pistons and understand that we are back. We built this, and it's not going nowhere, bro.
Its most iconic defensive era sees it too. He said this group has the same toughness and physicality as past Pistons teams, but they've earned their own identity, according to Wallace. For the first time in a long time, the city is excited about Pistons basketball again. When the guy who anchored the 2004 championship defense co-signs what you're building, that means something. Now, the big question. With this much talent, this much depth, and this kind of defensive identity, can this Pistons team really reach the level of the legendary 2004 squad? They're still young, there will be growing pains. Last season, they made a massive leap, finishing 44-38 after a 30-win improvement, only to be...
Listen, it will happen. Guarantee you that.
Bounced in the first round by New York. This year, they've taken another step forward, showing more consistency, confidence, and composure. The progress is real, but the journey isn't finished. Playoff basketball is a different animal. The intensity ramps up, the physicality increases. Rotations shorten, stars get targeted. We haven't seen how this group responds when every possession feels like life or death. That said, the blueprint looks familiar. Jalen Duren anchors the paint the way Ben Wallace once did, protecting the rim and setting the tone physically. Osar Thompson disrupts wings and guards like Tyshawn Prince, erasing matchups and creating chaos in the perimeter. And Cade Cunningham runs the show like Chauncey Billups, elevating everyone around him with poise and control. The pieces are there, the system is in place, the culture is solid. The only question is how quickly they can reach their potential. The Detroit Pistons turned 28 straight losses, one of the most embarrassing stretches in NBA history, into the foundation of the most feared defense in basketball.
And that's facts.